Sure. All right, you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Bill. I'm one of the members here at I3, and we're going to take a little tour. This is John.
Hey, John.
Okay. He's another member. So normally on Wednesdays I'm doing my podcast from here live. We stream and then record it as well. But tonight I happen to cancel, so lucky for you.
Cool.
So this is an 8,000 square foot warehouse we have here, and so this is just the area where you walk in and stuff. We're trying to have all the members have pictures up here, so because we get so many new people that it's sometimes hard to remember who's who. So we're trying to get all the members and their names here, and the upside down ones are members that have left.
All right.
So this is kind of our information board, and we also pass things between each other on the board too. So I've been trying to give these keys to Andy for a while now.
Yeah.
Come back in.
Cool.
So the first oh, Nate's here. These are the new folks from or these are the folks from Connecticut.
Yeah, I'm JR. Pleased to meet you, Nate. Yeah, and I'm just I'm coming to check it out for the benefit of the New Haven group, and I'm just sort of taking some footage as I do it too, so I can show my friends what.
How much memory capacity did you?
Batteries are probably the limit, but yeah, I figured just the overview so people get the vibe.
So Nate's much better than me. Go ahead.
All right, yeah, whatever you guys want to do.
Oh, you know how much story you already got. But
we just walked in the door.
Oh.
I had them fill out the forms and walk in. So you want to give them or should I?
I don't know. What do you want to know?
Well, just what you guys do, how it was formed, the equipment you have. My group is we're sort of just still trying to figure out what it is and how to make it work financially and pick a space. We've been touring spaces but haven't had one picked yet. So, anything that might be good to know for that group.
If you want to do what equipment we have, I would start at the 800-pound gorilla. I think it's actually 840 pounds. This is the only piece of equipment in the shop that has a section in the manual describing how to destroy it in the event that your base is overrun by the enemy. I love milsurp anything, especially welders. And then the welding cable, random, I don't even know anything about the welders. The plasma cutter has been under constant renovation for almost a year now. Well, I shouldn't say constant, under sporadic renovation for almost a year now. It is making progress, and someday we hope to cut metal with the same ease that we cut wood and vinyl.
Cool.
The kiln came in a couple of weeks ago. We haven't gotten around to hooking it up yet, but I'm really excited.
You're going to do a lot of pottery here?
I don't know. Personally, I'm more interested in its capacity as an annealing oven for metal tempering.
Okay.
But all of the above. This has been just useful stuff. There's a category of junk that you will find at every space, no matter how large or how small, and it's basically this junk.
Yeah.
And having it central and organized and kept out of the dust is nice. The other thing that I would say to take note of is that when you have a workshop to yourself, you've got your own tools, and you leave and you come back and they are where you left them, and you remember where you left them. The moment you share your shop with one other person, that falls apart. You have to put everything where it goes. A place for everything in its place, as they say. You also need to label everything. Knowledge does no good if it's in your head. It's got to be written down.
Yeah.
So, things generally come back to where they go if that place is labeled.
Cool.
So,
good advice.
Here, where I was actually going, scrap there. I'm building it for work, yes, and I need wire. I need paired wire specifically, and this is exactly what I need. I might just take this whole bin up front, but I'll do that in a little bit after we continue the tour. So this corner was used last year by First Robotics Team 3302 to build their competition robot, which actually that's a previous robot that was being torn apart for pieces. But I've been tremendously proud that we sponsored. Excuse me. Been tremendously proud that we sponsored the high school robotics team, because you know, when they could get a mentor from the school administration, you know, a teacher who was willing to dedicate the time, the school itself couldn't give them a proper workshop, and we could. You know, with access to the kind of tools you're going to see in a moment, you know, there's just no way. They don't have those kind of shop classes anymore. So that behemoth right there is kind of the crown jewel at the moment. It's a CNC mill.
Okay.
To get a sense of scale, somewhere there's a picture of Ted sitting in the thing. But, you know, basically it's all the same capabilities as, you know, something like the DIY little CNC here, except, you know, something like an 8 horsepower spindle motor and automatic tool changer and a much more rigid frame, so you don't have any sort of...
You don't have to give, yeah.
Yeah. But, I don't know, this whole thing was probably put together for under $1,000. This one cost us $4,000 or $5,000, I think maybe a little more than that. And that was, you know, pennies on the dollar compared to what it cost.
So what kind of projects are people doing with this? How did you guys get a hold of this equipment? Just kind of put it out there and it showed up?
This was another member actually does, I guess he does like IT support for a bunch of shops, one of which, you know, uses machines like this to make prototype parts.
Yeah.
And so they knew, you know, he was hanging out with I don't know if they knew. They mentioned to him, hey, we're looking to get rid of that old machine in the corner if you know anybody who wants it. And he came to us and said, do we, you know, this is a pretty good opportunity, do we want this? And we said, yes, please. But the thing is, you know, it's hard to spend group money on a thing that only a couple people are going to use.
Yeah.
So what this was actually an outside the group, you know, okay, let's just the 3 or 4 of us pool our money and get this. And a couple individuals ponied up several $1,000s to not only to purchase it but also to bring it here because it's like 3 times the capacity of our forklift.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, getting it running was quite a process.
But for those people, so you sort of other people can like buy access to it or something now, or?
At the moment, there is no scheme for that. We've been talking about putting a money cup on it, but you know, at the moment, it's, you know, like any other tool that an individual owns and leaves here for everyone to use. You just use it.
Okay.
You know, that's how
well, it's good of them to do the upfront cost on it.
Yeah, and that's it's been a lot of fun. It was. I have a funny anecdote. The company that was getting rid of it was very forthcoming. I said, you know, just so you know, we had to scavenge some parts off it to get another one of our machines running again after its monitor failed. And the Bridgeport guy quoted us like $600 for that new monitor.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, I've seen a couple of CNC machines. They're all standard PCs. I bet it's just a VGA monitor. And the thing gets in here, and we look in the back here, and sure enough, it's a D-sub. And it's like, $600, really? We've got a scratch sitting right there, and you know, 5 minutes later it was mounted up, and you know, that's the sort of stuff that I think, you know, perhaps your group would understand that, but I think people who are new to the Hackerspace concept wouldn't necessarily realize, you know, we can do things
reusing, repurposing, rather than buying new. Yep.
Yeah, but not only that, but you know, we can do things that, you know, big shops would pay a lot of money to do cheaper in a lot of cases because, you know, we've got the kind of cross-disciplinary knowledge of where things come from.
They run off G-code?
It is, yes, the whole machine is a G-code interpreter.
Do you do the software that's supported CAD program?
We bought a Mastercam license, and we're working on getting a class infrastructure started up to train people on how to use that because it's non-trivial.
Cool.
The handmade sandblaster is one of my favorite things.
Handmade sandblaster, yeah, I like it.
You know, it's just a Rubbermaid storage tote. The metal shop. If you're in here during the day, we have a retired, I guess he's actually a retired tinsmith, but he's a machinist by hobby.
Yeah.
Who is here like all the time. So, you know, very early on, one of the tools that we wanted that we couldn't have at our own space, you know, was a big mill like this. And coming here, it was one of the first things. I'm like, okay, we got to get a big mill. We got to get a big lathe. And the lathe was chosen with a 40-inch bed because most, one of our members has his dad is in a Civil War reenactment group, and if they want to work on gun barrels, we need a lathe that can handle 36 inches.
Yeah. So my battery use is at 15%. So
all right,
if there's anything else to show me,
I brought my Canon.
no, we'll find something for you to plug into. Gotta kill that. So, Steve, the machinist I was telling you about, brought in his personal little lathe and little mill because they're of a scale that's easier to work with for small projects. And once in a while, you'll see him using the bigger machines when he needs something really big done.
Cool.
For the most part, the wood shop, I would expect more people that are generally more familiar with these tools.
Yeah.
I grew up with this sort of stuff in the basement, although not quite to this scale.
Well, and it looks like you guys have like some sort of elevated lounge up here.
Yeah. In a moment. I gotta show you the laser first.
All right.
So about a year ago, I think, Instructables ran a contest where you could win a laser. And you had to submit an Instructable and get it uploaded. And we did a really great one. Dustin had this idea for these speakers and amplifier built into an ammo box. And we went social network crazy, got our grandparents to create accounts on Instructables and vote for us. And we were neck and neck with this other guy with this other LED tube Instructable, like to the last minute. But about 10 hours left on the vote tallying, this guy comes in off the street and says, "Hey, I heard about you guys online. Hey, listen, I have this laser cutter, and it's in storage right now. And I was wondering, is this the kind of place where I could bring it here and set it up?" And we're like, "Sure." And then it turns out to be this behemoth. If we had one-to-one from Instructables, we could have put it in here and laser etched something onto it. But we didn't win. But that's okay.
Yeah, worked out for the better in the end.
This is the machine that gets the most use, I think.
Or the vinyl cutter.
Or the vinyl cutter, yeah. The vinyl cutter is I think, an even lower barrier to entry. Like, it's easier to get your head in.
Yeah. Oh, right here.
Vinyl cutter is always, people are making little bumper stickers and things. We vinylize each other's cars constantly. Under the treehouse, the video editing workstation and the whiteboard room.
Cool.
And, oh my goodness, a bunch of the walls have been erased. That's okay. That's what it's for. And then if we go upstairs, the lounge and the library.
Cool.
And the perch from which Statler and Waldorf can heckle people during the meeting. But and where the DJ set up during the Halloween party, and we haven't needed shelves for anything.
Yeah, that'd be perfect for that.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
Very good. So that's sort of the overview. I know I have
the overview. So we'll take you downstairs, plug you into some power, and continue up front.
All right, cool.